So you just picked up your Nintendo Switch 2 and now you're wondering what accessory you should get to fully complete sorry. To fully It's my show now. Since we're talking about the best Nintendo Switch 2 accessories, it only makes sense for me, Highbrow Hank, to actually take charge of this show. You don't need to deal with that mediocre Amon and his nonsense, blah, 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 blah. I'll get right into it. So you picked up your Nintendo Switch 2. It looks so nice. Look at the screen. So nice, so wonderful, whatever. Hopefully nothing bad happens to it. That's why the first thing I recommend is getting a tempered glass screen protector for the Nintendo Switch 2. I myself use the Spigen Easy Fit screen protector for the Nintendo Switch 2. Just 20 USD. And you know what the great thing about this one is? When it comes to installation, it is easy peasy. The screen protector comes with an installation piece where you put it on your Nintendo Switch, you remove the little piece, done. 30 seconds, boom. The great thing is, if you are someone that will make a mistake, and most likely you are someone that will make a mistake, but if you do make a mistake, it comes with another one. So you're ready. You're ready to just kind of go at it again. Hopefully, you only need two, because if you need more, then you're going to be spending more than $20. And you can see when it's installed, it looks great. You'll see some shine on it, which is awesome. It is tempered glass, so it has a really nice look to it. Everything looks extremely clear. This is definitely recommended. You need this. Everyone needs a screen protector for the Switch 2. You need a screen protector in life, just for anything that you use. Now, maybe you're someone that has a trip coming. Maybe you want to go somewhere, you want to take your Nintendo Switch 2, have a good time. But what do you take it in? This is where I brought in the Tomtoc carrying case. This case, as you can tell, extremely hard. It will keep your Nintendo Switch 2 safe, shock absorbent, water resistant, which is extremely important. And did I mention how sleek this looks? Look at this. Look, it literally, my Nintendo Switch 2 is inside of this. It is perfectly snug, looks so nice. I like how the Tomtoc over here is in nice colors, different colors over here. Little handle on the top, you can swing it around like this, like a suitcase. Everything feels extremely safe. Another cool thing to add is that there's slots to add your games. So if you have a bunch of games you want to take on the go, put it in here and you're good to go. At just 25 USD, this again is a must buy. You need a carrying case. You cannot be carrying that around random willy-nilly. You can't just throw it in your backpack and hope for the best. Even the tempered glass cannot protect your Nintendo Switch 2 like that. Now, the Nintendo Switch 2 is all nice and everything. It feels good, all that stuff. But let's be honest, it doesn't feel that good. Everyone knows that Nintendo Switch 2 has terrible grip. If you don't think that's true, you're lying. This is where Skull & Co comes in. They are my go-to when it comes to any Switch-related grip cases that I need. I'm telling you, when you try this, you will not go back. The Skull & Co grip is extremely hard plastic. It fits in very snug and very easy to install. You slide it right in, which is perfect. And the cool thing is it comes with 3 different grip varieties. You have the simple Hold My Socks grip, then there's the Chunky Monkey, and of course, the Big Boy. Depending on your hand size and your preference of play, you can try different grips. You can also mix and match to see which fits better, or if you prefer to have a Chunky Monkey on the left and a Big Boy on the right. Maybe that's how you prefer to play. I got this blue and red version. There is a gray and black version as well if you prefer that. Now you might be wondering, what about the dock? Highbrow Hank would not choose a grip that does not fit in the dock without any issues. And with the Skull & Co grip, no issues at all. Slides right in, right out, without any issues, no scratches, nothing. And just to add, you can also bring out the kickstand with the grip on. So, in case you want to bring out the kickstand whilst leaving the grip on, you can do that as well. At 30 USD, this is a steal. There are more expensive options in case you want ones that come with a case. As you can imagine, with the grip like this, it will not fit in regular cases. Even the Tomtoc case, this will not fit in that. So you will need to buy a separate case that can adjust or that can accommodate all the different grips and the size. Now, in my opinion, no Nintendo Switch 2 console is complete without a Pro controller. The Nintendo Switch Joy-Con controllers are fine. They do the job, but you need a proper controller at the end of the day. And for that, of course, we look at the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. The original Pro controller was great. It felt awesome. It only made sense to check out the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller. And I will say, it does the job. Now, the overall feel of the controller is great. It has 2 extra buttons on the back. The triggers are still those old school triggers, which I do not like. it has these joysticks that are different sizes, which is cool. You don't really notice it when you're playing a game with it, but it is meant to make it more ergonomic. The D-pad is great. It does a good enough job. Not as good as the 8BitDo ones in my opinion. And it also has an audio jack in case you want to connect your headphones directly into the controller. Now the reason I'm a little hesitant on this is because this costs 90 USD. That is very expensive for a pro controller and for basically what it does, which is provide the most basic parts of a controller. This does not revolutionize anything in any way, but if you're someone like me that loved the original Pro Controller, then this will be a must buy. Although I will say there are other Pro Controllers, third-party Pro Controllers, that can basically do this job. Maybe you should subscribe to this channel to see what Aman and I will be talking about next time. Now last but not least, if you're someone that plays games digitally, you will require a micro SD card. Not just any micro SD card, a micro SD express card. You gotta make sure of that, otherwise your SD card will not work on the Nintendo Switch 2, or at least it will not work for the purpose of actually being able to install Switch 2 games onto the micro SD card. Now Highbrow Hank is not a big fan of these prices of the micro SD cards, but just for you, I have done some research to figure out which ones should be worth your time if you are someone looking for extra space on your Switch 2. On Walmart, there is a brand called ONN. The 512GB card for that is 65 USD, which is pretty reasonable. Now the issue is, this microSD express card is almost always out of stock. So let's say you've been waiting for a while, you're not able to find this card, and you need a card today. In that case, I would say go to the GameStop website. I know, I'm telling you to go to a GameStop website. I know how crazy it sounds. But go to a GameStop website or go to GameStop in person and check out their own micro SD cards, the 512 micro SD express cards for around 90 USD. It is 25 USD more than the ONN card that I mentioned before. But for 90 USD, 512GB is not bad. If you're someone that's going digital, you will need this. But if you're someone that is purely physical, unfortunately for you as well, you will also need a microSD express card in the near future, because there are a number of physical releases that don't actually come with the game on the card. It actually requires you to install the game once you put the card in. I know. You could be diligent and remove any games that you're not playing at the moment, but if you're someone that likes having your games looking nice in your library, maybe you want to decide to play it, maybe you pick up a game all of a sudden that you haven't played in a while, you will need extra space for these digital games or for these physical games that require a digital download. Wow, look at how quick that was once I'm in charge of the video. We got through 5 top accessories that you need for your Nintendo Switch to... What was that? I just blacked out for like a good 20 minutes. What was happening? Why is all my Switch 2 stuff flying around like this? Why is my underwear on the floor? Oh no. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed Highbrow Hank's video. Please let me know your thoughts, and I hope to see everyone next time. Thank you. Bye.